Hey guys, it's Drew from the Off-Road Corner. I think today's the day we're gonna fix that power steering line on the Jeep. What I want to start with first is flushing the fluid out of there. So let's look and see how that's going to be set up. Alright guys, let's see if we can see where this line is leaking. Oh, there it is. See it? Woo! Cool. So it's coming out right here, if you guys didn't see it. So first things first, spray her down with some penetrating oil. Try not to get it on your belt, otherwise it'll squeak. So you got your high pressure line, which goes down to your steering box, and then you have your low pressure line, or your return. So we're going to take this clamp off here and add in our hose, and this will just drain down to our drain pan. We're going to stick the vinyl hose on this hose and figure out a way to cap this reservoir, and hopefully not spill a bunch of oil on the floor. We'll just grab these little ears here, squeeze them together. Should be able to pull this clamp back. Pull this clamp back and you should be good to go. Now it's just, this hose is going to be kind of sealed on this plastic here, just because of heat cycles and everything. So what I do, just light pressure, just kind of turn that hose. You're not trying to hurt the hose, you're not trying to break the reservoir, you're just trying to break that seal loose. Just let that drain into your drain pan, and then we'll stick this hose over to the return line. Kind of a tight fit. That's what we want. There we go. So the line I got is a Gates. Part number is 353770. So inside the package for the power steering line that we got, this guy, there is a yellow cap, which you see down here. I just put that cap on there so we could fill this back up with power steering fluid and be able to flush it. So now we're just going to fill the reservoir up. And hopefully it doesn't spill. There we go. So now all we do is turn the wheel. And we should see fluid coming out. Ooh. There it goes. Alright, you guys get the idea. I'll get this flushed out. Alright guys, I've been turning the steering wheel from lock to lock for 10 minutes now. Kind of do it slow so you don't get any air bubbles. Make sure the reservoir stays full. But I think we're good where we're at right now. So it doesn't look nearly as black as what it did before, so I'm going to call this good. So the next step is to take this hose off of this hose, put this hose back onto here so we can replace this hose. So I got that return line hooked back up. So I'm going to start by taking this end off. This is a 16 millimeter here. And then after that, we'll take this nut off, or this fitting off. And get to replacing it with a new hose. Fitting stuck. We'll have to break that loose. Both sides of this line are actually froze to the nut on the line. So I'm going to have to cut this line off to get these fittings out. Not a big deal. We're not going to reuse this stuff. So let's get to cutting. Okay, so we got the old line off, as you can see. I had to cut both ends of it off. Next thing is kind of compare it to the new hose, which that looks about right. That looks about right. So now we'll just stick our O-rings on there. Those go on there. This nut comes down, so this is down at the steering box. These O-rings are the same size, so don't worry about where you put them. Put that guy on there. And good goes to the pump. Alright, we'll get this stuck on there and get on to the next step. Okay. We got the line on there. Just be careful when you put these on here. These nuts, they can cross thread really easily, so just feed them in by hand. And then you kind of want to rotate this line to where it doesn't touch the power steering pump. And also this area right here, you can see this flange. That would cut that line in a heartbeat. I had to reroute this line compared to the stock one. The stock one, you remember, it went underneath here. I bent into that fitting, or the port. Just for whatever reason, this has to be angled this way. As you can see. But I got it all together. Kind of dirty, but I think I'll wait until we fill the power steering fluid to actually rinse all this down, get it all clean. The next step would be to fill the reservoir with the power steering fluid, and then crank the wheels back and forth again, just to make sure that there's no air in the system. And then we can fire it up and make sure everything's working properly. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hope you found it somewhat informative. Next week we'll be replacing the valve cover gasket on the Jeep. And then we can move on to some more exciting stuff like lift and tires and winch. But anyways, thanks for watching. Ooh, I wonder what we got here. Guess we'll find out, right?